Welcome everybody, whether you're onshore, offshore, whether you're a current student or a future student, welcome to our second webinar of the week, and happy Dashain to all our Nepalese audience as well. Happy New Year. So we're so excited to see you again here. I'm Carol and I'm the Student Success Coach at Ozford, and I'm here with Jessica hosting this webinar series. Jessica, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name's Jess and I'm your student career coach. Just wanted to say happy Dashain as well, or Bijaya Dashamyakal or Subham Kamana. Let me know if I said that correctly or not and correct me. But yeah, once again, happy Dashain. Just wanted to let everyone know that I'm going to be recording this session and I'm going to be posting it on Facebook. So if you want to rewatch this session, just to get a recap on everything, check out our Facebook. And also if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. We'll get to them as soon as possible. Back to you, Carol.
Thanks. Okay, so I think first we'll start by sharing a little bit about what our Student Success Programme is here at Ozford. So I have a little video prepared, which I think Jess has got ready to play, and you'll be able to find out what we offer here, and I'll talk to you a little bit afterwards about how you can make an appointment. Hi everyone, I'm Carol, the Student Success Coach here at Ozford. Today I'm here to talk to you about our Student Success Programme. Ozford Student Success Programme helps you to develop the key skills you need to become job ready once you graduate. The programme will maximise your potential for academic success and prepare you to enter the job market with confidence. The programme helps you to work on a number of things, including your CV, cover letter, and even build a portfolio, which we like to call Ozfolio. The Ozfolio allows you to collect evidence and experience to showcase yourself to potential employers. As Student Success Coach, I am here to assist any student who would like to strengthen their study and employability skills. If you're interested in booking an appointment, all student appointments are free and tailored to student needs. Just email me at the email displayed on this screen, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you. Yeah, so the Success Programme, we offer personalised help for anyone who wants to improve their employability skills. So if you are interested in meeting me and getting some help with your CV or resumes or cover letters, whatever it is, just drop me an email at studentsuccess@ozford.edu.au, and all sessions are free. So drop me an email and we'll organise an appointment. I look forward to hearing from you. So let's get started on our webinar. So this is the program schedule for the next 5 weeks. We will be running 2 sessions weekly. So we already had our first one on Monday and this is our second one. So every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Australian time, running for 1 hour, we will be hosting different topics each week. And this week is, of course, how to achieve academic success. Next week, we'll be looking at the job application process. So if you need any help with applying for jobs, searching for jobs, what to do, where to look, we'll be helping with that. Session 3 in our week 3 topic is how to write a successful resume and cover letter, and also using a portfolio to increase your potential academically and professionally. We call the portfolio Ozfolio here, so we'll be talking a little bit more about that in session 3. Session 4, we're going to be focusing on interviews. So common interview questions, difficult questions that may arise, how to respond to them, how to impress an employer, and how to succeed in a job interview. And our final session on week 5, which starts Monday the 1st of November, we will be looking at how to make the most of internships, work experience, and volunteer placements. So very important one there. So if there is anything else that you think may be missing from here that you'd like us also to cover, just drop some comments in the chat box, and we'll be happy to try and implement those into our sessions. Okay, so let's get started. So this week is all about how to achieve academic success. So we've got a question here, which we can perhaps skip maybe, because I think we did this last week and we got some great responses. So if you check last week's webinar, we can check the answers there. So we're going to start with our top tips. So obviously when joining university and college, it can be an extremely overwhelming experience with a new work schedule, a new study load, a new environment, but it can also be the most valuable experience as well, meeting new people, learning exciting new skills. So you really need to make the most of your time in this new experience, trying to do well in class, taking advantage of extracurricular opportunities, and also making sure that you're prepared for when you're graduating and what you're going to do after graduation as well, taking that next step. So we're going to start with our 7-step process of how to be academically successful, starting with step 1. So step 1 is setting goals. Setting goals are extremely important for giving you direction. They will also give you focus and attention onto what is important in order to achieve what you want. It will also give you motivation and effort to dedicate your time into that specific thing that you're trying to achieve. And also it's known to reduce anxiety and build confidence in people when they know what direction they're going in. So you may have heard of this before, but there is such thing as called SMART goals. And SMART goals help us lead the way to sorting which goal is correct for us. So we want to ask ourselves certain questions. So the first thing we want to ask ourselves is, what do you want to do? Specifically, what is it that you want to achieve? The next thing we'll consider is how will you know when you have reached it? So is your goal measurable? You also want to consider, how is your goal achievable? Is it actually in your power to accomplish it? Are you able to do it, or is it outside of your capabilities? And are your goals realistic? You want to dream big, but not too big. So can you realistically achieve what it is that you're setting out to do? And the last thing to consider is, are your goals timely? So have a deadline, have an end date of when you want to achieve that goal, and know when you want to accomplish it. So consider these questions as our SMART goals. If you follow these steps, your goals will surely be accomplished. All right, over to you, Jess.
So now we've got step 2. And I think step 2 is probably the most important here, and it's to have a positive attitude. So what that means is just to be optimistic about your ability to succeed. Having a positive mind frame can really impact your potential. So doing things such as looking forward to learning will change your brain chemistry and will lead to a sense of self-efficacy. Furthermore, if you work actively towards positive thoughts, you can really improve your confidence, like Carol was touching on, and lead you to your life goals. So that means pick subjects that you enjoy, so then you can have an inquiry mind and get curious about your topics. And I think for us, like, we are our biggest enemies. So if you have a positive attitude towards the subject that you're picking, you're more likely to be relaxed, you're more likely to be open to learning new things and absorb the information really, really well. So doing things like engage in volunteer work, extracurricular activities, and keeping an eye out on internship opportunities will really help you frame your positive mind.
Okay, so step 3 is all about managing your time. Time management is crucial. So make sure that you set a realistic schedule for yourself and know where your time goes, because awareness is critical. You can overcome being overwhelmed by scheduling your time well. For example, the recommended time is to study 2 to 3 hours for every class time that you'd go to. So for example, if you have 1 hour per week of class time, you will aim to study for at least 2 hours in your own free time. And keep in mind that your schedule should be realistic and fit your lifestyle. There's no point scheduling your time to an ideal instead of practical. And differently from high school, no one's going to be tracking you and your activities at university or college. So you're not going to have a teacher who's chasing you to hand in those assessments, chasing you to meet that deadline. You become responsible at university and college. So you really want to set your priorities and make sure that you are meeting your deadlines and being responsible for your own learning and success.
And then we have step 4. And this one is to read your textbooks and course recordings. So what I like to do is I like to scan through the chapters before reading the full text. So I look for bold or italicized words just so I can get a grasp on the important concepts that the lecturer is about to talk about. Make sure you review your chapters and readings before class. This will allow you to attend your classes knowing what your lecturer will talk about. And this will also enable you to expand and understand the content more extensively. It is also really important to reread the chapters after your class just to really consolidate what you've just learnt, and make sure that you make study notes as you progress. There are different ways to make notes, but I think for me and my personal experience, the most crucial thing is to find what is effective for you. So that might mean that you need to trial different note-taking methods before you finding one that's perfect for you. So what works for you might not work for someone else. So the most crucial takeaway from this step is to find a note-taking method that allows you to understand your content. And success in college depends heavily on your preparation outside of class. Spend a lot of time reviewing and reading, and keep up a good routine, and try your best to avoid procrastination. I know everyone's guilty of this, but try your best to keep up a good routine, and it'll really help you when exams come.
Okay, so step 5, another important one, well, they're all important, but I think this is quite key, is to attend your lectures and attend your classes. You want to make sure, whether it's online or face-to-face, that you are tuned in, because not only will this allow you to not miss any important content, but also you're going to start to engage with your tutor and your teacher, and it will allow you to inquire about things that you may be unsure about or interested in, and the lecturer that's going to be running that session is going to be able to help you answer your queries. And also you'll be able to meet other people, like make friends and explore different skills and avenues. So definitely attend your lectures, make the most of the time. And definitely don't rely on a magic number of classes that you can miss and think that you can still do well. A lot of people are guilty of this, maybe myself included, but you really do want to make sure that you try and attend as much as you can, and as much as is within your capabilities, because you know you miss one session and it may be some really important information and important discussion that you maybe then is associated with an assignment, and then you're going to be stuck in doing that assignment. So don't rely on that magic number. Each class missed represents missed content, missed discussion. And also some professors or lecturers do weigh participation into your final grades. So in university, they may be looking into seeing how often you're tuning in to your online platform, what you kind of content you're engaging in, whether you're doing the readings or not. And university lecturers can see that on certain online platforms. So make sure that you're doing all the readings before and after, doing all the required work, and only miss class if you genuinely have to. And if you do have to miss class for any reason, just out of courtesy and politeness, just make sure that you drop an email to your lecturer and say, hey, I'm going to miss class today, but I'll catch up on all the work, or please could you let me know what I've missed in today's session. And if you really do need some incentive, consider the cost of each class hour. You are paying for your education, or your parents or your family are paying for your education, so you really don't want to make you feel like you're throwing that money in the bin. Okay, so make sure that you go to class, make the most of it, because when you go to class you're just going to enjoy it a whole lot more. It makes the experience more valuable and enjoyable. And the last thing also, with attending class, ensure that you are engaging in there and asking questions, giving answers and contributing. Taking an active part will actually help you understand the material better, understand the content better, and also make the whole process much more enjoyable. So if you're online as well, make sure those cameras and microphones are on and you're engaging with your tutor and your classmates.
And that leads us to step 6. So step 6 is to record your lecture notes. So what you want to do is you want to take notes during your class and make sure that your notes will make you be able to understand and expand upon after your class. Remember to review and edit your notes. So preferably within 24 hours to really consolidate that learning, and aim to review these notes 3 to 4 times before your exams. You can always use tools such as flashcards, drawing diagrams, highlighting important information, or even teaching your content to your friends and family. For myself, I really like to use flashcards because I'm quite a visual learner, and that's the best way for me to learn. And the key here, again, like I was saying, is to find ways to consolidate your learning. So really find a way that you can understand and you are able to really rote learn and consolidate your learning. And at Ozford, we often upload our lectures on Moodle. So as you can see on the right-hand side, that's basically what it looks like in our database. And your memory is never as good as you think it is. I'll repeat that again. Your memory is never as good as you think it is. I think everyone's guilty of writing a one-word note and then saying, oh, I'll remember what that means. And you come back to it and you're like, I don't really remember. So take good notes, as they will keep you engaged in class and discussions. These will also form a good basis for you to study for your exams.
And finally, step 7, which leads nicely on from what Jessica was saying in step 6, is this is what you've been working up towards throughout your whole course, preparing for exams. So make sure first that you're organized and that your study materials are prepared. Make a revision schedule. Make sure that you know exactly how much time you're going to dedicate to each topic or each subject or each unit, and how much study time you're going to put in a day, and prioritize those subjects that perhaps you feel more or less confident with. So which ones do you think you need the most work with, and prioritize that one first. Also, a good tip would be to make practice study questions. So review past exams, see what came up in last year's exams, or see what came up in previous exams. You could probably access these from your lecturers, and you can even make your own questions so that you can practice perhaps on your own, or even with a study buddy or with a family member or a friend. I'm sure they will help you out. And some more things, if you have specific goals for each study session, it's definitely going to keep you focused. Memorize definitions and formulas, so you can try out things like cue cards, and this is where your note taking will come in handy as well. If you've taken good notes during your tutor sessions, then you will be much more prepared for when it comes to your exams, and you'll be able to narrow down those notes, put them into cue cards or flashcards, and make it much easier. And if you're a geek like me and you enjoy color coordinating all your subjects and color coordinating all the different topics and highlighting and all of that stuff, it can actually be quite a fun experience as well. Understand what type of exam you have and what to expect of it. This is really important. Don't go in blind. Know what the expectations are, and if you're unsure, take advantage of the resources, which would be on Moodle, Ozford, or any other learning platform which your university or college has. And if you still don't know, then ask your teachers, ask your lecturers, because they'll be able to provide you with good advice. And finally, to consolidate your learning, it is vital that you eat a well-balanced meal and that you look after yourself and that you get enough sleep and rest. So 8 hours minimum per night, optimize your brain performance, good healthy meals, regular meals, and also keeping hydrated is just something that we do forget to do sometimes. So we make sure that we look after ourselves and keep our brains healthy. So those are our 7 steps for being academically successful. So we'll review those steps again. So step 1 is setting goals. Make sure that you set goals to not only give you direction, but to reduce that anxiety and give you confidence and focus throughout your course and learning. Step 2, have a positive attitude. There's no such thing as can't. You can always find solutions to problems. So make sure that you are positive and always go in with the intention of learning something every time. Step 3, manage your time well. Organization is key. So make sure that you are responsible for your own learning, you know what you're doing, and making sure that you are organized. Step 4, read your textbooks and course readings. As Jessica mentioned, this is maybe one of the most difficult things that we kind of try to avoid, but it is important to keep up to date with what it is that you're learning in class and doing that bit of reading on the side as well, because it's going to just consolidate that understanding of the knowledge. Step 5, attend your lectures. So whether it's online or face-to-face or blended, make sure you are attending and engaging and inquiring. And step 6, record your lecture notes. Useful notes, organized notes are going to help you then prepare for your exams, which is step 7, and making sure that you are organized with a good study schedule and also looking after yourself as well. And remember, at Ozford, a student's success is Ozford's success. So I hope these 7 steps have helped you know how to be academically successful, and you can implement these into your future educational learning journey. All right, I think we have a video prepared, but there is one final note here to make sure you complete all requirements to graduate on time. So it's very important to just know that you're going to be responsible for yourself and that you know what you need to do in order to graduate. So we're going to watch a video now, which is the 9 best scientific study tips. So hopefully this will consolidate what we've said here, but also give you a few more ideas. Go ahead, Jess.
Time for school, and it's no surprise that many of us are determined to study smarter instead of longer. But which study tips and tricks actually work scientifically and can help you get those perfect grades? First up, research shows that study sessions are most effective in small, short chunks. Instead of cramming in a 10-hour study session, it's much more effective to spread it out into 20, 30-minute sessions over a few weeks. This is because your brain is better at encoding information into the synapses in short, repeated sessions as opposed to one large one. And this is why even learning different skills, whether it's swimming, tennis, or a singing lesson, often follows this same format. And while cramming and pulling all-nighters may be a ritual, it turns out that this is linked to the lowest grades. After prolonged nocturnal study sessions, reasoning and memory may be negatively affected for up to 4 whole days. Instead, setting up specific times in a day or during the week just to study primes your brain by creating a routine, and over time, studying actually becomes easier as your brain is trained to learn in those moments. And while many of us spend hours passively rereading our notes or highlighting a textbook, studies have shown this to be ineffective. It doesn't improve your understanding of topics, nor does it link key concepts together. It can even be detrimental as it draws your attention to less important information. Flashcards, on the other hand, are proven to be excellent memory reinforcement tools, whether during your scheduled study times or during off times like a bus ride home. It also helps to have a specific goal for each study session. Instead of aimlessly studying, pick one aspect you'll focus on, whether it's balancing chemical equations or learning how to conjugate French verbs. If you can't explain it simply, then you don't understand it well enough. In studies where individuals were asked to learn a passage, and then half were told that they would be tested on the material while the other half were told they would have to teach it to other students, participants expecting to teach it did much better at understanding the main points. When you're expecting to teach, your brain organizes the information in a more logical, coherent structure. Of course, practice, practice, practice. Not only do practice tests put your brain in the environment, but even if you make mistakes, they help identify gaps in your knowledge. Practice tests have also been shown to increase confidence, thereby leading to better performance. So, where should you be studying? Research shows that having a designated sacred spot for study that's well equipped with every tool you might need is best. Just like setting times, this primes your brain for studying. Have an awesome study playlist? not so fast. While some studies have shown that certain types of classical music can help improve concentration, a recent study has shown that learning with rhythmic background noise can be detrimental to focus, and those not using music fared much better. And if you haven't already, put away your phone. This is a no-brainer, but your texts and social media notifications severely decrease concentration. Of course, exams can be extremely stressful, so if you want some tips on how to deal with exam anxiety, check out our ASAP Thought video, which breaks down some tips for that. Link in the description. And a big thank you to TD Bank for sponsoring this video. If you're
Okay. So hopefully that
Back to
video
school.
gave you a few more tips on, how to study and be prepared. And that is it for our session today for being academically successful. But next week, please tune in, as we will be running 2 sessions next week, Monday and Thursday. And this is a very important topic, which will be applying for jobs. So if you are interested in learning about the job application process, where to look, how to do it, what to put in your application, and how to land that interview, then make sure you tune in next week, same time, 12 p.m. on Australian time, and this will run for 1-hour sessions, so Monday and Thursday. So tell your friends, make sure you register next week in order to get into that raffle, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, everyone.